It is Tuesday, the 5th day of October 2021. Hello there and welcome to the first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's first though have a look at what's making headlines at this hour.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Legislators return to Parliament after 1 week out. Illegal teaching. 7 teachers arrested in Uganda over illegal teaching. Elsewhere in the world, Tunisian president to hold national dialogue to end political crisis. And in sports, Uganda and Rwanda face off in yet another episode of Sport this Thursday.
Was brought to you by Where You Go, MTN.
There and welcome once again on sign language. It is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Kijjanangoma, and we are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, following a 3-day busy schedule in the United Arab Emirates, where President Museveni presided over the National Day of Uganda and the Dubai Expo 2020, and an official visit to Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa for the inauguration of the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, President Museveni has returned home. During his visit to the UAE, the president held a series of meetings with the leaders of the UAE, including His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of the Emirates of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates Forces and ruler of Abu Dhabi, various prospective investors and the Uganda diaspora in the UAE. The Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, Minister for the Presidency, Millie Babalanda, and the Head of Public Service and Secretary to the Cabinet, Lucy Nachobe Mbonye, received the President at Entebbe International Airport. Also at the airport to receive him were the service chiefs, the CDF of the UPDF, General Wilson Mbadi, Assistant Inspector General of Police Andrew Sorowen, and David Ahimbisiwe, the Director Human Resource in Uganda Prisons, representing the Commissioner General of Prisons, Dr. Johnson Byabashaija. To the August House, where the Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Matthias Mpuga, has informed the House that they are to present a motion to Parliament on the investigation of alleged human rights abuses for the past 12 months. His statement rolls back to the arrest of the 2 legislators, Alan Sewanyana of Machide West and Kawempe North, Mohammed Sejirinya. We have more in this report.
But we are happy to have you back, and we'll continue working together as Parliament of Uganda for the good of our country.
Last week, opposition members of Parliament stormed out of plenary sitting in disagreement of the manner of arrest and rearrest of their colleagues Alan Sewanyana of Machinde West and Mohammed Segirinya of Kawempe North, who had been remanded to Kitalia prison in connection to massacre killings, were rearrested after release. Opposition MPs who exited the sittings in dissatisfaction of the responses by the Minister of Security announced a boycott of the sittings until their colleagues are produced before courts of law.
I am constrained to continue leading my team, Honourable Speaker, in these circumstances because you are mimicking the truth.
However, on resumption of plenary, the Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Matthias Mpuga, told the House that their return is to demand for justice and fair trial of their colleagues.
We are not back because things are okay, but because we are the legislators for our people.
He says even after their continued demand for justice and fairness for many other people under incarceration, nothing has since yielded.
And we still make the same demands that due process is followed and that the exercise to a quick, transparent and fair trial, so that them and other citizens can see the beauty of being ruled under the law, not by the law.
Citing the 19 people who were arrested last year and still under incarceration without being produced to court, opposition is yet to present a motion to Parliament over the investigations on alleged human rights abuses for the past 12 months.
Whether it wouldn't be procedural okay to demand that you instruct government to respond on the fate of those citizens that disappeared and were taken by state actors. They're not in court. A trace in any prison has not yielded any output.
For this, but we shall interact and get more information.
They want Parliament to come up with modalities that protect members during such times, including welfare.
Protection and help, welfare and otherwise, does the institution of Parliament that employs me offer, Madam Speaker?
The salary of members has not been cut off. Members are still getting their full salary because there is a presumption of innocence. And if you, as we've pledged, if there is any problem, they want any medical attention, they want anything, our offices are available.
Alan Sewanyan of Machindia, Muhammad Segini of Kawempe North and the co-accused border rider were sent back to Kitalia as they wait their bail application in High Court. Susan Naonga reporting for UBC TV.
Thanks, Susan Nawanga, for that report there. To Dubai now, where we understand Uganda has inked deals of investment intent amounting to $850 million at the ongoing Dubai Expo in the United Arab Emirates. Uganda has a target of sealing investment deals worth $4 billion in new investment at the Expo to fuel the post-COVID-19 economic recoveries. The trade deals agreed so far span the areas of health, agribusiness, energy, infrastructure and mineral development. From Dubai, here is our reporter, Samuel Senano.
Uganda Investment Authority's booth at the Dubai Expo 2020 has been a beehive of activity, with potential investors frequenting Uganda's pavilion to engage the teams on numerous investment opportunities. At the Dubai Expo, Uganda set out to promote the country as a destination for trade and investment, a strategy that was re-echoed by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni during the Uganda National Day celebrations.
Crops for food and crops for textiles and crops for coffee. Coffee is not a food but a stimulant, a beverage for beverages. All those products are there. You can put anything you want there, you can produce.
The Ugandan teams have been engaging investors in the areas of manufacturing, agriculture, energy, minerals, and in the oil and gas sector. According to Morrison Rakakamba from the Uganda Investment Authority, deals amounting to $850 million have so far been sealed at the Expo.
And these are investors who flew in from Turkey, who flew in from the United Kingdom, who flew in from the United States, and some other companies that are based here in the UAE and specifically Dubai, who are have now very serious awareness about Uganda, and they flew in. They met with the president in the morning in Abu Dhabi. They came here and together with the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Matia Kasaija, we managed to put pen to paper on the letters of intent to invest in the country, and we're going to be following up processes to ensure that these projects reach maturation. And if you will, once they mature, they are going to create really thousands and thousands of jobs.
The companies that have shown intent of investing in Uganda are Connect, a United Arab Emirates-based company, which has intentions of investing $500 million in Uganda. Wonderful Biotech, a company based in China, which plans to invest $50 million in Uganda's pharmaceutical sector. Wodera Corporation, an industrial, manufacturing, shipping and commodity trading company, which plans to invest $50 million in Uganda's mineral processing. Modern Group, which wants to invest $50 million in the manufacturing, agriculture and mining sector. Moda Investments that deals in agriculture and food processing also agreed a multi-million-dollar investment commitment with Uganda. The intent letters were signed in the presence of Finance Minister Matia Kasaija, who called upon Ugandans to embrace productive ventures.
I am appealing to my fellow Ugandans. Let's wake up, let's get annoyed to get out of poverty. This excuse government to koledeki, government to yambe, yes, government is doing its best.
The expo will run till March 2022, and Uganda plans to showcase different Ugandan-made products. Samuel Senono, UBC News in the UAE.
Thanks, Samuel, for ably representing us at the that expo in Dubai. Now, State Minister in charge of Economic Monitoring, Peter Ogwang, has highlighted a number of social-economic transformations achieved by Uganda, as well as areas that need concentration to transform Uganda as it's set to celebrate its 59th independence. Among the key areas is education, agriculture and ICT. Now, this year's celebrations will be commemorated under the theme Celebrating Our 59th Independence Day as we secure our future through national mindset change.
Uganda prepares to celebrate the 59th independence. State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Peter Ogwang, who represented the Minister for Presidency, Millie Babalanda, has highlighted key areas achieved by government. In education, the minister says the number of secondary schools going kids has increased to over 2 million now.
We have invested a lot in educating our people using new and refocused circular. It is true we have problems in this area, but we also made impressive gains and we shall continue to do so. There are 53 universities in Uganda, 9 of them are public and 44 are private. And constant colleges, therefore, and more are in the pipeline.
In ICT sector, there have been increased employment and growth opportunities to 500,000 direct and indirect jobs.
There are over 2 million users on My Uganda platform each month. 37 MDAs are using the unified messaging and collaboration systems. Over 106 e-services can be accessed through e-service portal www.ecitizen.go.ug. Government is promoting ICT innovations to create jobs for import substitution and to avoid over-dependence on foreign ICT products.
Other areas included the agriculture sector, where about 64% of Ugandans are employed, the healthy sector, energy and economic infrastructure.
The journey to become a self-sustaining in areas of engineering and ICT is on course. Total power generation capacity of energy sector has increased more than 6-fold since the early 2000s. The installation of the large-scale hydro power dams has contributed more significantly to the increased capacity. The installed capacity comfortably meets the country's peak demand for electricity currently, raising concerns about the oversupply.
Jane Ramchia, reporting for UBC.
Police in Iganga district have arrested 7 primary school teachers from 3 schools for defying presidential directives. They were found teaching, yet schools were closed down due to COVID-19 pandemic. We have more in this story.
Police in Iganga district became suspicious after noticing motorcycle cyclists, commonly known as boarders, carrying school-going children to different learning points. Upon mounting an operation, police discovered that some schools are teaching pupils. The schools include St. Mary's Junior School, Buligo, Iganga Victory Primary School, and Batvilla Nursery School.
So learning was taking place, which is against the law. And all these are private schools. There was no government school that was found operating. All these were private schools. And we are saying we are going to make sure that the directive is followed. These licenses are supposed to be revoked for such schools that are breaking the law. Licenses are supposed to be withdrawn, and once licenses are withdrawn, that means the schools are not supposed to operate again.
The accused will be charged with neglect of an act that may result in the spread of COVID-19 and defying presidential directive.
P1. Wow. Well done. So you at school?
Yes.
Who is your teacher?
Teacher Florence.
Teacher Florence, how are you? You come, teacher.
But you shall keep on the ears on the ground so that you arrest whoever is doing the contrary against the SOPs as guided by Ministry of Health. So those people who are teaching from schools should desist from this until January comes, and those ones just teaching from their homes should tell their parents to wait for the time to reach, because you find a number of pupils in someone's home, I hear, but we are yet to confirm, more than 20 pupils.
The resident district commissioner Iganga, Deborah Mwesigwa, confirms that the accused will be produced to court on Wednesday.
And we are just cautioning whoever is trying to defy that, please, your license are going to be cancelled. And the 7 teachers that we have in the police cell, actually we are preparing their files, and tomorrow or Wednesday they will be produced in courts of law.
Majority of the classes reached were overcrowded with no observance of standard operating procedures. Adiana Kuti, Yusuf Obo, UBC.
Okay? Until when they tell you to come back. The schools are supposed
to be very sad indeed for those teachers who are caught defying the presidential directive as far as education is concerned. News Tonight takes a short break. We'll be back with more.
Today in history.
Uganda's then President Milton Obote launched the expanded program of immunization on this day. This function took place at Mulago Hospital in Kampala, where he also launched an X-ray unit worth 1,200,000 Duchess mark. The programs were intended to curb the killer diseases such as diphtheria, pneumonia, measles, and tuberculosis.
My home, I smile when I think of you, Uganda. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda. My home, oh my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home, under the sun so bright, under the moon at night, on my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Vaccinated today so we can get closer to the normal way of life. Echa COVID-19 chija kugwa.
Uganda, today is a great day to work towards your dreams. Dial *185*7# and select savings to save as low as 500 Ugandan shillings on regular savings or 250,000 Ugandan shillings for fixed deposits. Airtel Money Super Saver is powered by KCB Bank Uganda. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless. T's and C's apply.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. Finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly until James discovered something big. Now he can finally enjoy the benefits of homegrown advantage with a decoder and 1 month of GoTV value. For just 25,000 shillings, enjoy the world's biggest leagues and cap competitions. GoTV Uganda, love it.
You know, you could just buy a new smartphone from anywhere in Uganda. Dial *175*94# to activate their 100% double data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles for 3 months. Better yet, you automatically receive free 1 GB valid for 30 days. You are hooked already, aren't you? Enjoy 100% double data bonus from Airtel. Buy a smartphone from anywhere in Uganda and insert an Airtel SIM card. Dial *175*94# to activate a 100% data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles, valid for 3 months. Dial *175# and select your preferred bundle to activate a 100% data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles, valid for 3 months. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Switch to Airtel, Uganda's only 100% 4G network, and get 50% data bonus on all bundles purchased using Airtel Money. Visit the nearest Airtel shop with a valid national ID to buy a SIM card today. For business entities, please share an email with business.support@ug.airtel.com. Enjoy the best rates on calls, SMS, data, and Airtel Money across Uganda on your preferred number. Subject to availability. 50% data bonus is valid till 15th November 2021. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that short break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business, where MTN Uganda has announced to list 20% shares on the local stock market exchange for interested investors. Now, this is one of the obligations following the 12-year renewed contract to the telecom company by Uganda Communications Commission. Nashil Rubwama gives us more.
MTN Uganda has secured a request approval of the Capital Market Authority at the Uganda Security Exchange to list 20% of its shares to the local investors.
I announce MTN's intention to float 20% of its issued shares through an initial public offer (IPO) of existing ordinary shares, a process which has already been approved by the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda.
It is based on the Uganda's broadband policy of 2018, where telecommunication companies are supposed to offer an opportunity to local investors own some shares in the company.
Last June in 2020, the government of Uganda, through the Uganda Communications Commission, renewed the National Telecommunication Operator License of MTN Uganda and thus extending its stay in Uganda. As a condition of that license, MTN Uganda was required to sell 20% of its shares to the Ugandan public by listing on the local stock exchange.
This avenue helps government to reduce on the profit repatriation, besides boosting local investment.
We believe this will not only diversify the ownership of telecoms active in our market, it will also make Ugandans co-owners and enable them reap the benefits of the digital revolution.
Therefore, the percentage of local ownership into the telecom company moves from 4% to 20%. By embracing such a multinational's big percentage share, it will provide opportunity for the market growth.
The exchange provides an opportunity for companies to grow and create greater impact, to communicate with shares, with the share of their success with investors.
MTN Uganda raked 1.9 trillion shillings last year, equivalent to 10% of Uganda's budget. Sada Mubale, Nasiru Rubwama, UBC News, Kampala.
World news now, and we go to Tunisia, where Tunisian President Kais Saied has told French President Emmanuel Macron that a national dialogue would take place soon, Macron's office said after they spoke by phone. Saied's mention of a dialogue would be his first indication since seizing executive power in July that he is ready to consult more widely on finding a way out of the crisis that's wrecking the country at the moment.
Parties and civil society organizations have expressed support for the National Dialogue Initiative led by President Saied.
We support this decision and the measurement taken by the President of the Republic, Mr. Kais Saied, because we also called for that even before the 25th of July. Today, maybe the President has some difficulties in the communication part of his work today, but we can understand that, because maybe he has some problems with some political party.
The opposition has, however, criticized the head of state's monopoly of powers. Many politicians say Kais Saied is relying on foreign support to impose his rule and his one-sided vision of the process of national dialogue.
We reject any form of foreign interference in Tunisian affairs. However, the president has opened the door for foreign states to interfere. He is meeting foreign ministers of foreign countries and their parliamentary delegations to explain his moves and the current situation, while he refuses to meet all his Tunisian supporters and opponents. This is not the right approach to starting a national dialogue.
Political analysts assert that Tunisia needs a national dialogue to end the current crisis. However, this initiative needs to involve all political parties, civil society organizations, as well as labor unions, national figures, and constitutional law experts.
Many Tunisian parties and national organizations have been calling for national dialogue, but they have learnt about the project in the communique of the Élysée instead of the Tunisian presidency. The president discussed this issue with French President Macron. This is the second time that Tunisians learn about internal politics through the French presidency. This is unacceptable for Tunisia's sovereignty.
Analysts maintain that the Tunisian president brushed aside much of the 2014 constitution. Kais Saied has also given himself powers to legislate by decree. Saied also appointed a new prime minister and said he will form a committee to amend the constitution.
More than 90 frozen MPs have signed a petition calling for the resumption of the activities of the House of the People's Representatives. President Saied suspended parliament and lifted MPs' immunity in July. Experts assert that these decisions are against any political dialogue initiative in the country.
Sports news now, and Uganda and Rwanda are to renew rivalry in an anticipated Football World Cup qualifier that many anticipate to be an emotional date. Sports activities between the two nations have, in the recent past, brought the best and at times worst, bordering on insanity at times. John Ban Sentamu reports.
Whenever Uganda plays Rwanda in sports competition, games border on emotions, with players giving their all. This has been evident in cricket and volleyball that Uganda won, while in the Afro-basketball, Uganda finished higher than Rwanda, moreover in Kigali. The two nations renew rivalry on Thursday in a World Cup qualifier that many anticipate to be close.
I'll just talk about some of the players that have featured for the Uganda undergrad sides, like Samuel Kato, who have now been summoned to the senior national team of Rwanda. This also brings more competitiveness and also rivalry in a game like this. So for me, I expect a very epic clash, I should say. It's going to be competitive.
Many believe that the 2003 1-0 Rwanda victory at Nambole is the genesis of the rivalry, but people who've lived through the times offer better guidance.
And before the 2003 match, the rivalry had been spiked by the fact that earlier in 1998, Uganda had beaten Rwanda 5-0 in Kampala, and all sorts of things were said. Rwanda went back, did their homework, they knew exactly what to do. In 2003 in Nambole, the game that nobody will ever forget, the Rwandans knew what was at stake. It was a qualification for Africa Cup of Nations, and the game deteriorated into chaos.
Since then, I think we didn't recover because we had a chance to go to Tunisia for the final rounds of Africa Cup of Nations, but Rwanda got 4 points from us, and yet we managed to beat Ghana and drew with Ghana, so we got 4 points from Ghana, and Rwanda got 1. So if we had beaten Rwanda here at Nambole, then Uganda would have gone to Africa Cup of Nations.
The Uganda Cranes camp is in buoyant mood ahead of traveling to Rwanda on Tuesday night. The coach has already named the final 25-man squad that is captained by younger midfielder Khalid Aucho.
How I can say that we are preparing well, and we reached in the camp when the players are okay, the players are in a good mood, and the way coach is preparing us, everything is okay. And what I can say, we shall get the points in Rwanda, and we shall get the points in Uganda.
Mujib Kasule and Badru Ziwa are some of the finest football pundits this country has and can't be questioned when they offer advice to their coach.
So the players have to emotionally and mentally be ready for this game, because it's not going to be about who is the better team, who is on form. It's going to be about who wants it more, who is going to fight, who can control the emotions, who can have the right character.
For me, I think what Mitchell should do, I think, is to pick players who are here on form. Players who are playing football. There are players who are just phony based, but they are not playing football.
Uganda and Rwanda have played several times, but these are some of the latest results we've been able to compile.
We celebrate our nation, our future.
Optimism is high among Ugandans that believe this game turns the corner for the Cranes that are winless in their last 5 games.
This time around, Mitchell is going to be the difference. He knows both Rwanda and Uganda, and he has a very big experience with national team football. And because when he dropped Emmanuel Okwi, that was an indicator that he's really doing a good job with the boys. So I expect positive results in Kigali.
As it stands in Group E, Mali leads on 4 points, Kenya second on 2 points and just better than Uganda on goal difference, while Rwanda on 1 point is rock bottom in a group from which only one team qualifies to the final stage of qualification for Qatar 2022. John Barnes, Sentamu, reporting.
And to end this bulletin, let's have a quick reminder of our top stories.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
1 week out. 7 teachers arrested in Uganda over illegal teaching. Tunisian president to hold national dialogue to end political crisis in the country. And in sports, Uganda and Rwanda face off in yet another episode of Sport this Thursday.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
Our next bulletin comes your way at 10 p.m. here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. Elizabeth Nakakoni has been on sign language, and I am Rukidi Kijjanangoma. See you at 10.